Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be new job, purpose, girl, attitude, and life. And I've got two emails I'm going to go through with you today, and there are two different success stories. The first one, the guy made a complete life turnaround. He changed everything. His career, his body, his mindset after he originally found out about my work about a year ago. I guess he's been following me for. And it's a great example because I know a lot of people, probably the majority of the people, that men and women both, who come and find out about my work, it's because a relationship ended and they're trying to get an ex back. And I teach people what they need to be focused on in order to make themselves the happiest they've ever been, the healthiest they've ever been, and the most attractive to the members of the opposite sex they've ever been, and obviously also the most successful that they've ever been in every area of their life that's important to them. So I got a quote that I wrote, and then we're going to go through the first guy's email. And the quote says, "You were designed with all of the tools, skills, gifts, and talents to create a really great life and lifestyle for yourself. You are built to be successful. If you don't know how to do something, you can seek out people who already have mastered what you want to know how to do, model what they do to get the results you want, do the same things, and therefore you'll get the same results as they do. To get what you want in life, you have to know what you want and why you want it, and resolve to pay the price over time to eventually make it a reality. Goal setting is not necessarily the key to achieving your goals, but committing to a process to achieve your goals is." So let's go through the first guy's email. He says, "Dear Corey, thank you for all the work that you do. I've been following your work for over a year now. I've been studying it very closely, and I would have to say that it works tremendously. I'm 33 years old and have been dating a beautiful and wonderful 39-year-old woman for over a year now." Ah, you like older women. Nice. "Because of you, my confidence, self-respect, and self-worth have shot through the roof, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart because it has helped me out so much. Before I met Jessica, my current girlfriend now," that's not her real name, "I was a skinny, divorced guy with no faith, a pathetic life, and zero self-confidence while working a 60-hour job that kept me busy but unfulfilled in life. Now I am working to get my master's in sports business. I work for a university as a graduate counselor where I get to advise and help prospective students on their educational future. I've bulked up by 15 to 20 pounds of muscle to 200 pounds, and I've got my faith back in God. Corey, thank you for the work that you do. If you ever make it your way to my town, please drop me a line because I'd love to buy you lunch and shake your hand. You're truly amazing and a wonderful human being. I've enclosed a picture of us to remind you of the great work that you do, and that I'm authentic and positive result of your work." And he sent me a picture. This girl is pretty, very pretty. I love getting pictures of people, and they send me pictures of their kids and stuff like that. I think that's fucking awesome. So that's a great email. I mean, the guy, everything in his life is completely different. His job is different. His body is different. He's got a new relationship. His mission and his purpose is different. And he's gotten his faith back in God now, which is awesome. And I'm just so happy for you, dude. I'm proud of the fact that because I don't think I've ever done any phone sessions or email coaching with this guy. He was able to read my book, watch my videos, and just apply the things that he learned. And a year later, he's got great fucking results. His life is completely different. He's very happy. So good for you, dude. I'm proud of you. So let's go through the second guy's email. He says, "Hey, Corey, I've been watching your videos, and I have read your book 12 times over the course of a couple years. In late November, I met a woman, and we had good chemistry. I am naturally playful with all women, and she played back. I didn't have time to set up a date in the spot, so we exchanged phone numbers. 4 or 5 days later, I got in touch with her. I said, 'Hi, when are you free to get together?' I know I've heard that somewhere. She responded the next day with, 'Sorry it took so long to get back to you. I have mandatory overtime through the month of December, but maybe we can get together in a few weeks.' Maybe usually means no. What does that tell me? Not really that into you? You're not much of a priority? You're not a big deal. I got other things that are more important in my life. You're not going to call a girl like that again. Think about it. If you're a catch, you have lots of options. She's like, oh, maybe I'll be free in a few weeks. Great. Why don't you give me a call in a few weeks and your schedule frees up and we'll plan something then. I'd love to see you. That's it. Because most guys, they'll call next week and the week after and the week after that. And she'll keep going, oh, shucks. I'm just so busy, darn it. He says, I read that and laughed to myself. I figured she didn't have much interest in seeing me, so when I had the time, I replied with this. I knew you would get back to me when you could. I'd love to see you, so get in touch with me when your schedule frees up. We can plan something then. I never contacted her after that. See, this guy's been paying attention. He's doing what I told him to do. He read my book 12 fucking times. This is what happens when you've read the book 12 times. You know it backwards and forwards. And therefore, when a situation like this happens, you know exactly what to do. As soon as you see the response, you know what to do. Do yourself a favor. Read my book 10 to 15 times. You can even read it for free on my website. And if you really like it, then you can download the Kindle or the iBookstore version, or you can get a paperback version. You can try before you buy when it comes to my book. Fast forward to the first full week of 2015, which is about 6 weeks after my initial contact. 6 whole weeks. That's a long time. I'm in my business, and it's about 4:15, and this car drives up with a woman driving. Out she steps, I smirked. I knew she was there to make a date. That's pretty ballsy. She just shows up at your place at work. More than likely, she was probably planning on blowing you off, and then what happened? She thought, that guy was a little different. I haven't heard from him. He really meant what he said. And so you were kind of like barely holding on with your fingernails. You're on a scale of 1 to 10 attraction level wise, you're like a 5. Just barely there. It's kind of like, if I didn't have anything else going on, yeah, maybe I'll get together. 6 whole weeks later, she shows up. There's a good chance there was some other dude in the picture that things were maybe further along with. And when that didn't work out, you're the first one that she got. Well, actually, she showed up. He says, she walked in smiling from ear to ear, and I said, hey, how are you? We made a little small talk for a couple of minutes, and then she asked, do you remember me? I laughed and said, of course I do. So when are you free to get together? Boom. Direct, decisive. He gets right to the fucking point. No dithering, no hesitating. He's not sitting there going, oh, gee, let me take her to lunch and talk to her for an hour before I ask her on a date. Nah, he's getting right. She fucking showed up, dude. She's at his work. It's like, come on. It's pretty obvious. And he got like 1 or 2 sentences out of his mouth. Of course I do. So when are you free to get together? I mean, look at that. Hi, how are you? A little small talk for a couple of minutes. And she asked, do you remember me? She told me that she was free the whole week, and of course she is. I said, well, I'd love to see you, but I can't this weekend, so I will get a hold of you towards the end of the week, and we can plan something for early next week. So she's already expecting to see him, and he's like, oh, shucks, I'm busy, but you know what, I'll get in touch with you next week. So obviously in her mind, she's going to be walking out going, is he going to reach out to me? Did I blow my chance with him? Oh my God. So when he first talked to her 6 weeks ago, her attraction level was a 5. Now she's showing up. I'd say there's a good chance it's risen to 7 or 8. This is like the cake being in the oven. It rises up and you're not doing anything. This is why a woman's you have to be at least a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, or else if it's a 4, this would have never happened. But it's a 5, so it just kind of creeps up on her. So just imagine when you actually get together with her and you have your first date, she's really going to be ready to rock. You can probably hook up with her the first night. She said okay, and then she left. I have since contacted her and set up a date for Tuesday. What I find so phenomenal is that she came in to make sure I knew she was interested in seeing me. No calls or texts. She flat came in. She didn't want to take any chance of you ditching her. I have a strong suspicion it's because she felt my strength in not contacting her at all after our first interaction. Bingo. Good fucking job, dude. This is what happens. Confucius said, success depends upon prior preparation, and without said preparation, there is sure to be failure. Here you have yet another example of the countless examples I've done over the years in my video newsletters A guy follows the fundamentals, and look what happens. This woman shows up at his work. That's fucking awesome. He says, to be perfectly honest, I couldn't make the weekend due to another date. Good for you, dude. You have an abundant lifestyle. You're just, I don't know, I have to see when I can fit you in. It's basically what she did to him the first time around. So, I mean, that's fucking awesome, dude. Good fucking job. That's a great story, great email. And it's one little, simple, subtle truth. And it really boils down to valuing yourself and loving yourself and respecting yourself and demanding that if you're going to be in a relationship or date somebody, that they've got to make mutual effort. It takes two. Not only when you're dating, but also when you're in a relationship. The other person has to show up and communicate with you. If they refuse to do that, it's never going to work. You know, the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And by following the stuff that's in my book, you force the other person to make the mutual effort. Then you're never going to catch yourself being in a situation where you're putting in more effort than the other person is. Definitely something to think about. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session with yours truly. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.